Hello everyone, and today we're going to do calculations to see what price your coin needs to get to and whether it's gotten there or not based on current price and last peak price of the last bull run. And the ratio has to be greater than the Bitcoin ratio, because if it's not greater than the Bitcoin ratio, it can't be considered a success because you can just invest in Bitcoin. It's less risk and you get a higher ROI cycle over cycle. So let's actually take a look at what we got. So I've actually written this up. Some will be comparing to 2017, some will be comparing to 2021 based on what year we got to the last max. For XRP, it's going to be 2017. Tron's going to be 2017. Everything else on the list is 2021. Because besides XRP and Tron, everything actually got to the last price maximum before this bull run back in 2021. XRP and Tron 2017, because 2021 run wasn't good for those two coins. So the Bitcoin max, let's start out. The Bitcoin max for 2017 was $19,702. For 2021, it's $69,400, and it's $124,169 max so far in this run. Now, I'm not extrapolating to like 150, 180,000. We're just going to say, like, if Bitcoin doesn't go higher than now and altcoins have a run, what price does your coin have to get to be worth it or to be a success for this bull run? Because once again, if you can't even beat out the Bitcoin ratio of growth, you might as well just buy Bitcoin, and you can't really consider it successful unless you beat out Bitcoin's ratio of growth in the long term. So the Ethereum max back in 2021, $4,861. You can see that on Live Coin Watch. And no, we have not surpassed that yet. We've gotten pretty close. We've gotten within $100 of that, but we have not surpassed it. So that's still last bull run's price. So you take the 2021 value of Bitcoin, 69,400, over, or actually you take the current price of Bitcoin over the price of the max price of the last bull run, you get 1.789 or something. Then you have to multiply it by Ethereum's last max to see the ratio you have to beat. And that gets you a total of $8,697. So if Ethereum does not reach $8,697, if Bitcoin goes up, we'll have to recalculate this. If Bitcoin stays stable and Ethereum does not reach this value, then it cannot be considered successful for this bull run. XRP max was back in 2017, so we have to take the 2017 ratio. Obviously, there's a lawsuit and it wasn't great the last bull run, but based on that, it's kind of like an 8-year cycle instead of a 4-year cycle. So the XRP max back in 2017 was 392. You can also see that off of Live Coin Watch. And no, we haven't broken that yet. We've gotten pretty close, but we haven't broken the all-time high. For XRP, whether it's broken the all-time high or not depends on which exchange you look at, but the cumulative max back in 2017, based on Live Coin Watch, was 392. So it almost got to $4 back in 2017. And so 2017 Bitcoin was only $19,702. We have to divide the current price, the current high price, over $19,702. And then you have to multiply that by the XRP max to see like what price XRP would have to achieve to actually beat Bitcoin's ratio. And that price is about $24.70. So if XRP does not, assuming that Bitcoin does not actually go up anymore from $124,000, we don't make a new max, XRP would have to get to $24.07 in order to be considered a successful bull run. Otherwise, why not just invest in Bitcoin? BNB, it did actually exist in 2021, so we can actually make a ratio. $671 was its max in 2021. And so, of course, we use the same formula once again. We use the 2021 value of Bitcoin because BNB did reach it in 2021. And you have to multiply it by $671. I had to get the 671 off somewhere else besides Live Coin Watch, I think CMC or somewhere else, because we obviously have broken the all-time high for BNB from last quarter. It's like $800 something right now, so I had to do some graphs and look it up. So BNB would actually have to reach $1,200.50 in order to be considered a successful bull run. I think out of the 4 we've done so far, this is by far the most likely. Because right now it's like in the mid 800s, and improving 50%, even if Bitcoin doesn't go up and Ethereum goes up, definitely possible for BNB. They might be able to do it with another buyback and burn, honestly. Solana was also 2021. They were like May of 2021, and that was $236 back then. Now, it is $293 now, but we achieved that back in November, so that's this cycle. So we're taking the values from last cycle. Because this cycle isn't done yet, you can't use the numbers from this cycle. So last cycle's top for Solana was $236 back in May of 2021. So in order for Solana to be successful this cycle, and this value is actually not going to be too high, I do think this is actually achievable. Although we're still pretty far off from it right now. So we take Bitcoin value from last cycle, and we have to multiply by 231, and you get about $413. Now, that's not insanely like unreasonable. It's only about twice the price right now, and I think that's definitely achievable. Cardano is quite a bit more harsh. We did achieve $3.09 from 2021, and since we did not pass that yet, I just got that value off Live Coin Watch. And yes, that was after Goguen got released, because we had 2 releases last quarter, was Shelly and then Goguen, and both of them boosted price, but Goguen boosted it slightly higher, so we have to go with that value. So Cardano would have to reach $5.52, which, is not impossible, but it is very, very difficult to reach. Doge, because of the Elon Musk thing, reached 73 cents in 2021. Obviously, it should reach well over $1 if it wants to be successful in this bull run. So can it reach that? I don't know. Doge, obviously a meme coin, has to reach about $1.30. Not impossible, but I don't know if it's going to have the Elon thing this time. And without that, I'm really not sure if it can actually reach that value. Now, Tron is the other one we have to go back to 2017, because if we look at the Tron graphs, it actually spiked higher in 2017 than 2021. And yes, I did have to look at the graphs for Tron, because we did actually break a new all-time high for Tron at 43 cents this cycle, just not too long ago. But Tron reached about 24 cents back in 2017, so we have to use the 2017 value to do the ratio. And divide by 19,702. And you multiply it by 24 cents. And of course, you get about $1.51. Now, that's not impossible for Tron, but you have to remember for Tron, Justin Sun has a lot of say in Tron price. I do believe he owns a lot of supply and he can manipulate the price as he wants. He did make it go up to 43 cents. So if Bitcoin keeps going up, there is, and plus a lot of USDC runs through Tron, so it does have a lot of liquidity. So it's possible. I don't think it'll happen, but it's definitely possible. Now, another one we got to talk about is chain linkage. Chainlink did reach $52 back in 2021, although much of the growth was in the bear market because it came back up in 2018, but it did reach its local high in 2021. So we're going to use the 2021 ratio because it achieved it in 2021, obviously. So, and the high price was actually $52.85. So that gives us a value of $94 and 56 cents. Now, I do believe that is actually achievable. It's going to be difficult. I expect Chainlink to reach at least $50, but I wouldn't be surprised if it broke 100. And if it breaks 100, it definitely has achieved to where it be a success and where it would actually beat the Bitcoin cycle. Now, I'm not doing any newer coins that came up after 2021 because we don't have enough data for those coins, and reaching an all-time high when you start in the bear market, obviously that value is going to be very low, so it doesn't really matter because you didn't have an all-time high last time. So let's go to Hbar. Hbar reached 56.9 cents in 2021. So obviously it's going to have to be close to $1 now, I believe, to actually consider it a successful bull run, and I do actually think that's achievable. It's much closer than a lot of these other coins. In my opinion, it has to reach about $1.01. I think that's definitely one of the more achievable ones. Yes, it's only about a fourth of that price right now, but realistically, I definitely think that with the hype it can. Now, I really want Hbar to develop the ecosystem more than anything else. But even if they don't, they might have enough hype once alt season actually hits. Coinbase says altcoin season is going to hit very soon. Don't know if I really trust Coinbase, obviously. But with the institutional money flowing in, I can definitely see that, especially with the interest rates hopefully being cut. Now we're going to do VeChain. VeChain reached 26 cents back in 2021. So it doesn't actually have to reach $1 to be successful to out-ratio Bitcoin. So you just take the value again, divided by the last all-time high, you multiply that by VeChain's actual price. To be successful this bull run, it has to reach 47 cents. Now, that is very, very difficult because it's at 2 cents right now. So it'd have to like 20x. Even though like it's not like a huge amount over the last all-time high, I think it would be a grueling marathon for VeChain to reach that value. I think that's mainly because I don't think like Sunny has been doing the things to actually increase VeChain's value for VET investors, unfortunately. Maybe good for the foundation. I don't really know what his obsession is with the UFC. I'm not like a huge UFC fan. I mean, like the fighting's fine, but basically partnering with sports teams, I'm just not like a fan of that. I don't think it does the crypto anything. So once again, based on the Bitcoin ratio, Ethereum has to go to 8,679. XRP has to go to $24.07. BNB has to go to $1,200. Solana has to go to, sorry, not 213, 413. Cardano has to go to 552. Doge $1.30. Tron 151. Link 94.56. Hbar $1.01. VeChain 47 cents. Now, which of these I think is most likely to happen? I think the ones that are highly probable. I think Ethereum has maybe like a 50% chance of getting to 8,697. Sorry. I think BNB has a more than 50% chance of getting to 1,200. Even if we just have a bull run with, even if we have an altcoin bull run just with Bitcoin's current price, I think Solana, has a pretty decent chance. And I think Link and Hbar have a pretty good chance. The others, I'm not really sure. XRP, $24, not getting there probably. Cardano, $552, possible. But at the same time, Charles did not get USDT. So without that liquidity, I'm not really sure how it's going to get there. And I'm not really sure if FOMO on, doing education for Africa is actually going to bring it that high. I don't think so. Tron, I don't really know what Justin Sun's doing, so it's hard to say. Chainlink should go up with DeFi. I would not be surprised at all if it got to 94. VeChain, like I said, needs to more than 20. It needs like 20x from right now. So my hopes for that aren't that high. And of course, like Sunny Lu did not work on the ecosystem very much. He's obsessed with the UFC stuff for whatever reason. And I don't think that's good for VET investors. So there are my thoughts on which coins can reach it, which coins can't. Once again, I think Ethereum, BNB, Solana, Link, and Hbar have a very good chance of reaching the, ratio value. The other coins, not so much, because and that means they wouldn't have successful bull runs because their ratio based on their last maximum value would not actually keep up with the Bitcoin ratio, which means you are just better off investing in Bitcoin than these coins. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.